Today, we're ranking the 7 kingdoms from absolute worst to the cream of the crop. Coming in hot, or rather cold and wet, at ninth place, we have the Iron Islands. If you like gray skies, cold water, and a culture that thinks stealing is a career path, this is your dream home. Ruled by House Greyjoy, the Iron Islands follow the old way, a brutal tradition that values strength, the sea, and taking what you need rather than creating it. This culture trickles down to every aspect of life, with leadership favoring warriors over diplomats and raiding over commerce. Economically, it's a bleak picture. With poor farmland and a hostile climate, the Ironborn depend on the sea for survival. Fishing is a staple, but their real economic engine has historically been piracy, which, while profitable in the short term, isn't exactly the most sustainable business model. Security is one of the Iron Islands' few strong points. Their naval power is unmatched, with fast, agile longships capable of outmaneuvering larger fleets. However, on land, they are vulnerable. The rocky terrain makes farming difficult and provides little natural defense against a determined invasion. The geography itself is a constant challenge. Storms and harsh seas isolate the islands, making trade difficult and survival even harder. Resources are minimal, mostly fish and iron, and the standard of living is just as grim. Homes are simple and luxuries are rare. The biggest threats come from within. A culture that values strength over stability leads to infighting and a high mortality rate among leaders. Power shifts are common, and loyalty is thin. All of this contributes to why the Iron Islands are ranked dead last. It's a place where survival is a struggle, and even success feels like a fleeting victory. At 8th place, we have the North, a land vast enough to get lost in but cold enough to regret it. Ruled by House Stark, known for their honor and loyalty, the North is the largest kingdom in Westeros, yet also one of the least populated due to its harsh climate. The leadership is respected but often struggles with the sheer size of the territory. Governing such a vast expanse with limited resources means help is always far away when you need it most. Economically, the North is a tough place to thrive. Farming is limited to the brief summer months, and food shortages are a constant concern. Trade exists, but the distance from southern markets makes it difficult to maintain a steady flow of goods. Security is a mixed bag. While the North is hard to invade due to its size and loyal population, it suffers from internal threats. Wildlings from beyond the wall and occasional rebellions keep the region on edge. Geography is both a blessing and a curse. The dense forests and mountains offer resources like timber and fur, but the freezing temperatures make extraction difficult. Standard of living is low. People live simply, with survival often taking precedence over comfort. Life expectancy is short, and winters last for years. Despite its hardships, the North holds a deep sense of community. People here are resilient, but resilience can only get you so far. It ranks 8th because, despite its strong culture, the climate and isolation make life a constant struggle. Coming in at 7th place are the Riverlands, a region of lush fields, flowing rivers, and heartbreak. Ruled by House Tully, the Riverlands is known for its fertile farmland and strategic waterways, making it a vital resource for food and trade. However, its central location has made it the stomping ground for nearly every major conflict in Westeros. Economically, the Riverlands should be thriving. Its fertile land allows for abundant harvests, and its rivers facilitate trade. However, war has left the region in ruins more times than anyone can count. Farms are burned, villages are razed, and rebuilding seems like an endless cycle. Security is another major issue. The Riverlands has no natural borders, making it easy to invade. Armies march through it like it's a highway, and the local population often pays the price. Geography is both its strength and its weakness. The rivers that nourish the land also make it easy for invading forces to navigate. Resources are plentiful when peace reigns, but peace is rare. The standard of living is decent when not at war, but the frequent conflict keeps people in a state of uncertainty. The Riverlands ranks 7th because while it has the potential to be a paradise, Its unfortunate location makes it a perpetual war zone. At sixth place, we find the crownlands, the political heart of Westeros and home to King's Landing. Ruled by whoever sits on the Iron Throne, this region is a complex mix of wealth, power, and corruption. The proximity to the seat of power means that when things go well, the region flourishes. When they don't, well, wildfire and riots are just around the corner. Economically, the Crownlands benefit from being a trade hub. The capital attracts merchants from across the world, dealing in a wide range of goods such as spices, textiles, precious metals, and exotic imports. This diversity in trade fuels the local economy, creating opportunities for artisans, merchants, and laborers alike. Gold flows through its streets, but the benefits are unevenly distributed, with much of the wealth concentrated among the nobility and elite traders. However, this wealth is unevenly distributed. The rich live in luxury, while the poor struggle to survive in overcrowded slums, and as they say, King's Landing is in living hell. Security is theoretically strong, with the King's Guard and gold cloaks patrolling the streets, but political instability often undermines law and order. Geographically, the Crownlands are well positioned for trade, with access to the sea and fertile lands nearby. Resources are abundant but heavily taxed. The standard of living is polarized. The elite enjoy every comfort imaginable, while the lower classes endure harsh conditions. The Crownlands ranks sixth because while it offers opportunities, the risks are just as high. A change in leadership can turn prosperity into disaster overnight. At fifth place, we have the Stormlands, a rugged region known for its harsh weather and resilient people. Ruled by House Baratheon, the Stormlands are known for their resilience and fierce storms that make the land tough, and the people even tougher. Geographically rugged with dense forests, towering mountains, and rough coastlines, this kingdom produces formidable warriors who are as unyielding as the storms that batter their lands. The weather here is infamous, with constant tempests shaping the very character of the people. The economy of the Stormlands is modest but resilient, reflecting the kingdom's rugged terrain and harsh climate. Timber from its dense forests is a primary resource, supporting construction and trade. The coastline provides fishing opportunities, essential for local sustenance. However, frequent storms and rocky soil limit large-scale farming, making agriculture less productive compared to fertile regions like the Reach. The Stormlands rely heavily on self-sufficiency, with local lords managing small-scale farms and hunting grounds. Trade is minimal, mostly exchanging timber and game with neighboring regions. The economy isn't wealthy, but its people are tough and resourceful, thriving despite nature's challenges. Security is a major strength. The Stormlanders are battle-hardened, with a military tradition dating back to the Age of Heroes. Storm's End, their seat of power, is one of the most impenetrable castles in Westeros, having withstood sieges for centuries. It's a symbol of resilience and provides a safe haven during times of conflict. Despite its strengths, the Stormlands face significant threats. Its strategic position makes it vulnerable to invasion from both land and sea. Internal strife has also been an issue in the past, with rebellious lords challenging the Baratheon rule. The standard of living in the Stormlands is modest. Life here is tough, and while the nobility enjoys relative comfort, the small folk work hard to survive. It's not the worst place to live, but it's far from the best. It ranks fifth because of its resilience, military strength, and impenetrable defenses, but its economy and standard of living keep it from climbing higher. If you like storms, stubbornness, and a good fight, the Stormlands might just be your cup of Dornish wine. In fourth place, we have the Vale, a mountainous region known for its breathtaking scenery and near-impenetrable defenses. Ruled by House Arryn, the Vale boasts a rich history and a strong sense of tradition. The Eyrie, the seat of power, is considered one of the safest castles in Westeros. Its isolation is both a blessing and a curse, hard to conquer but equally hard to trade with. Economically, the Vale is stable. Fertile valleys provide ample agriculture, while minerals relies heavily on agriculture in its fertile valleys. The region is mostly self-sufficient, producing grains, vegetables, and livestock. However, trade is limited due to its rugged terrain. Minerals and metals from the mountains add to its wealth. Trade is somewhat limited by the geography, but its self-sufficiency makes up for it. Security is unmatched. With mountain ranges and a few narrow passes, invading the Vale is almost impossible to offer additional economic stability. With sheer cliffs, narrow passes, and the sky-high eyrie, it is practically impenetrable. Few armies would dare attempt an invasion. However, its reliance on geographical defenses means its military strength is not as battle-hardened as some other regions. The people of the Vale live modestly but securely. Geography plays a significant role in daily life. The high mountains and isolation keep the population safe but somewhat disconnected from the rest of Westeros. Resources are plentiful within the valleys, with a strong emphasis on farming and mining. The standard of living is high for those who can handle the isolation. The Vale ranks fourth due to its balance of safety, resources, and governance. Claiming the third spot are the Westerlands, the wealthiest kingdom in Westeros, ruled by the powerful House Lannister. Gold mines make this region the financial backbone of the Seven Kingdoms. Leadership is pragmatic, focused on maintaining wealth and power at all costs. If gold is king, then the Westerlands is its kingdom. With vast gold and silver mines, the region's economy is unmatched in sheer wealth. However, as we all know, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy armies. Economically, the Westerlands are a powerhouse. Gold flows from its mines, funding armies, alliances, and extravagant lifestyles. The mines of Casterly Rock and other regions, funding lavish lifestyles, armies, and alliances. This wealth attracts merchants, traders, and opportunists from all over Westeros. However, wealth disparity exists, with the Lannisters hoarding much of the riches. Security is strong due to well-funded armies and well-fortified castles like Casterly Rock is an issue. The common folk rarely see the benefits of all that glittering gold. However, wealth also attracts enemies, making the region a prime target during times of war. Geographically, the land is hilly and resource-rich. The abundance of gold and silver makes it an economic marvel, though reliance on finite resources could be a long-term concern. The standard of living is high, especially for the wealthy elite. The Westerlands rank third for its immense wealth and military strength. Abundant metal and mineral deposits provide economic security, but over-reliance on finite resources could be a long-term concern. Coming in at second place is Dorne, the southernmost kingdom known for its unique culture and climate. Ruled by House Martell, Dorne stands out for its tolerance, progressive laws, and relative gender equality. The leadership is pragmatic and values diplomacy over war, climate, and a live and let live attitude. Ruled by House Martell, Dorne values diplomacy, tolerance, and progressive laws, making it one of the most enlightened regions in Westeros. Its people are as warm as its climate, but cross them, and you'll feel the heat. Economically, Dorne thrives on trade and agriculture. Citrus fruits, olives, spices, and fine wines are its primary exports. The warm climate allows for region benefits from year-round farming, giving it a stable food supply. Sunspear, the capital, is a bustling hub of commerce, where merchants from across the narrow sea trade exotic goods. Security in Dorne is formidable despite its seemingly laid-back culture. It is bolstered by the desert and mountains, making invasion difficult and consistent trade income. The desert and mountainous terrain make it difficult for invaders to penetrate. The Dornish are skilled fighters who rely on speed and maneuverability rather than brute force. Additionally, their flexible inheritance laws provide political stability. Geographically, Dorne is vast and varied, from as diverse as its people. From scorching deserts to lush river valleys, the region offers a bit of everything. Resources are sufficient for a comfortable standard of living, especially in major cities like Sunspear urban areas. The standard of living is higher compared to many other regions due to its stability and progressive governance. Dorne ranks second because of its unique blend of culture, resilience, and quality of life, security, and cultural richness. Finally, at the top spot, we have the Reach, the breadbasket of Westeros. Ruled by House Tyrell, historically, the Reach is known for its fertile lands, chivalrous knights, and abundant resources. It is the most populous and agriculturally productive region. If food is power, then the Reach is sitting on the Iron Throne of agriculture. Economically, the Reach is unmatched in food production, providing grain, fruit, and livestock to much of Westeros. Its wealth is not as flashy as the Westerlands, but it is stable and consistent. Security is strong, with numerous castles and well-trained armies. With vast farmlands producing grains, fruits, vegetables, and livestock, it feeds much of Westeros. Its wealth is stable, consistent, and less prone to fluctuation compared to gold or trade-based economies. Highgarden, its capital, is a cultural and economic hub where trade and festivals flourish. Geographically, the Reach is ideal. Fertile plains, mild weather, and abundant water sources create perfect conditions for agriculture. Resources are plentiful, and the standard of living is high for most inhabitants. The people enjoy festivals, markets, and a relatively peaceful life compared to other regions. Security is strong due to its large population and well-trained armies. Castles are well-maintained, and the Tyrells historically valued diplomacy, avoiding unnecessary wars. However, its fertile lands make it a target for invaders during wartime. The Reach ranks first for its combination of prosperity, security, and overall quality of life. If you could choose anywhere to settle down in Westeros, this is where you'd want to be. Personally, if I had to choose where to live in Westeros, it would be Dorne, hands down. Who wouldn't want to spend their days sipping fine wine on a sunlit beach with the sound of waves in the background? The warm weather, rich culture, and more progressive society make it feel like the perfect getaway. Except you actually get to live there. Dorne feels like a paradise where life is meant to be lived to the fullest. And there you have it. The 7 kingdoms of Westeros ranked from worst to best. Whether you prefer the rugged resilience of the stormlands or the sunny luxury of Dorne, there's a place for everyone in the 7 kingdoms. If a war were to break out, however, this ranking could shift. Due to their geography and military capability, Dorne would take the top spot for its defensive terrain and resilient people. The Vale, with its near-impenetrable mountains, would follow closely. The Westerlands, with its wealth to fund armies, would rank third, and the Reach, despite its abundance, would fall to fourth due to its vulnerability in open conflict. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tour through Westeros, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into your favorite fantasy worlds. See you in the next video.